Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prajagachara Stottar Sat Srimad Bhagavatam Abhaycharanarvinde Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prajagachara Stottar Sat Srimad Bhagavatam Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री आसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की मायापुर नवदीप धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 43. Naivo dvije para duratyaya vaitranyas. Naivo dvije para duratyaya vaitranyas. Tvad Virya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Shoche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Indriyartha Soche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Indriyartha Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimurhan Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimurhan Naivo Dvije Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyas Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Soche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Indriyartha Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimurhan Naivo Dvije Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyas Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Shoche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Indriyartha Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvato Vimurhan Naivo Duje Paraduratya Vaitaranyas Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Naivo Duje
Yagayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Soche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Indriyartha Maya Sukhaya Paramudvato Vimutana
Online, anyone? Vrinda? Naivo Duje Paraduratya Vaitaranyas Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta Soche Tato Vimukha Chetasa Anyone online? Okay. Na, not. Eva, certainly. Udvijay, I am disturbed or afraid. Para, O Supreme. Duratya, insurmountable or very difficult to cross. Vaitaranya, of the Vaitarani, the river of the material world, Tvatvirya, of your Lordship's glories and activities, Gayana, from chanting or distributing, Mahamrita, in the great ocean of nectarian spiritual bliss, Magna Chittaha, whose consciousness is absorbed, Shoche, I am simply lamenting, Tata, from that, Vimukha Chetasaha, the fools and rascals who are bereft of Krishna consciousness, Indriyartha, in sense gratification, Maya Sukhaya, for temporary, illusory happiness, Bharam, the false burden or responsibility of maintaining one's family, society, and nation and elaborate arrangements for that purpose. Udvahataha, who are lifting by making grand plans for this arrangement. Vimuraha, although all of them are nothing but fools and rascals, I am thinking of them also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhaychara Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O best of great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. Purport. Throughout the entire world, everyone is making big plans to adjust the miseries of the material world. And this is true at present, in the past, and in the future. Nonetheless, although they make elaborate political, social, and cultural plans, they have all been described herein as Vimura, fools. The material world has been described in Bhagavad Gita as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, temporary and miserable. But these fools are trying to turn the material world into Sukhalayam, a place of happiness, not knowing how everything acts by the arrangement of material nature, which works in our own way. Prakrite kriya manani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimulatma kartaham iti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by nature. Bhagavad Gita 3:27. There is a plan for material nature, personally known as Durga, to punish the demons. Although the Asuras, the godless demons, struggle for existence, they are directly attacked by the goddess Durga, who is well equipped with 10 hands with different types of weapons to punish them. She is carried by her lion career or the modes of passion and ignorance. Everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature. But at the end, everyone is vanquished by nature's laws. There is a river known as Vaitarani between the material and spiritual worlds, and one must cross this river to reach the other side of the spiritual world. This is an extremely difficult task. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 14, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durattaya. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. The same word Duratya, meaning very difficult, is used here. Therefore, one cannot surpass the stringent laws of material nature except by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, although all materialists are baffled in their plans, they try again and again to become happy in this material world. Therefore, they have been described as Vimura, first-class fools. As for Prahalada Maharaja, he was not at all unhappy. For although he was in the material world, he was full of Krishna consciousness. Those who are Krishna conscious trying to serve the Lord are not unhappy, whereas one who has no assets in Krishna consciousness and is struggling for existence is not only foolish but extremely unhappy also. Prahalada Maharaj was happy and unhappy simultaneously. He felt happiness and transcendental bliss because of his being Krishna conscious. Yet he felt great unhappiness for the fools and rascals who make elaborate plans to be happy in this material world. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pricharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So grateful to be serving all of you today in this morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So seeking for all of your prayers and blessings so that we can understand truly the purpose of this beautiful message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this chapter, Prahalada Maharaj is pacifying Lord Narasimhadeva with his prayers, and he is saying that, "O best of great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their family, society and country. I am simply concerned with love for them." And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has very nicely explained how in this world people make very big plans to adjust the miseries of this material world. So this material world has so many miseries which are described in the scriptures as Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, caused by our own body and mind, caused by other living entities, caused by demigods, supernatural powers, and not to forget birth, death, disease, old age. Those are other miseries that are there. And all these people who are trying to make these plans to get rid of this are called Vimulaha. V means particular, Vishesha. Mula means foolish. Srila Prabhupada in one of the lectures explains the meaning of this word, Vimula. So particular fool or rascal, that's what he's explaining. Extra fool, okay. So also Bhagavad Gita confirms Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, that this world is Dukkhalayam. Dukkha means miseries. Ashashvatam is temporary. Shashvata means eternal and Ashashvata means temporary. So this world is temporary and miserable. Everything is going to get finished, is going to end with our life. But yet we are thinking that we will stay in this place forever. Dharmaraj Yudhishthir Maharaj was asked by the Yakshas, what is the most surprising thing about living entities? And then Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was asked by his father? Okay. Yamraj, yes, he was asked by Yamraj, what is the most surprising thing about these living entities? So he said, Ani ani bhutani gacchanti hayyamalayam shesha sthavaram icchanti kim asharyatha param. Srila Prabhupada also says mandiram. Mandiram. Yeah, mandiram. Yeah. So, what it means is ahani ani bhutani. Every day we are seeing in this material world bhutani, not only this earth planet, but all the different planets, starting from this planet or Patal Loka to the Brahma Loka, from Ant to Brahma Loka. Everybody has to die. Everybody is dying, and we are seeing that people are dying. Ahani ani bhutani gacchanti hayyamalayam. People are dispatched to the Yamaloka. Still, those people who are remaining, Shesha Sthavaram Ikshanti. Shesha means those who are remaining, those who are staying in this world, they are thinking, I will live eternally. Kim Ashcharyatha Param. What is the biggest surprise than this thing? So that is what he says. And we see in this world there are so many things, activities which cause so much harm. For example, consuming tobacco or alcohol. It's written that the manufacturer has to write it is very dangerous for health. You can actually die, you can have cancer from that. But still people are consuming it. Right? It's such a sad condition. People are having cancers, they are dying because of all these habits, but still they continue to, they think, oh, that person will die, I will not die, He has died, my relative has died, but it will not happen to me. So I will continue with my nonsense. So, and then Prabhupada says, Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha ahankara vimulatma kartayam iti manyate. So, everybody is thinking that they are controlling themselves, but unfortunately they are under the control of these three modes of material nature, mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. And they think themselves to be the doer of the activities, which in itself is carried out by the nature. And whenever any activity is performed, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said that there are 5 factors, and one of the factors is the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But yet, the bewildered spirit soul thinks that he is himself to be the doer of the activities. And then Prabhupada mentions in the purport there is a plan for material nature personally known as Durga to punish the demons. So let us understand who Durga is. So I was hearing one lecture, Radha Ashtami lecture, where it was explained that Srimati Radharani is the source of all goddesses of fortune. She is the source of Durga, she is the source of Parvati, Lakshmi, Kali, everyone. She is the supreme source, goddess of fortune, of everyone. And we know that in Garga Samhita it is explained that there was a sage whose name was Suchandra, and his wife was Kalavati, and they performed austerity for like 10,000 years. They were just eating leaves, and they wanted to have a very nice daughter. And in the next life, it was Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida, who is the mother and father of Srimati Radharani. So, Srila Prabhupada tells in one of the stories in Montreal in 1968 that how Vrishabhanu Maharaj was tilling the land with a golden plough, and when the plough was turning and with the soil came a beautiful little girl. She was very, very beautiful and effulgent, and Vrishabhanu Maharaj, he picked her up and he took her to his home and gave it to Kirtida, and Kirtida with tears embraced the baby and accepted her as her child, because they were not having any child. So that's how Srimati Radharani came to the house of Kirtida and Vishmanu. And we also understand that Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi is also an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Satyabhama, Mother Earth, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam we also hear about Kubja, who was carrying fragrance. One of the quality of earth is fragrance. So she is also the expansion of Bhumi Devi. And Srila Prabhupada, for the same reason, established so many farm communities. We have hundreds of farm communities all over the world to give an example of how we can live in a harmonious way with Mother Nature. Right? Because it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that once, when there were so many people who were doing atrocities on Mother Earth in form of cow with the demigods went to Lord Brahma at the shore of the milk of ocean and prayed that please help me, and then that's how Lord Krishna was invited. And Krishna in Goloka was telling his consort that I am going, and Sri Radha said, okay, I will come with you, but I want 3 things to be there on planet Earth. And she said, 3 things are Govardhan Hill, Yamuna River, and forest of Vrindavan. And Krishna says that they are already there. They have already reached there. And then, so basically again, if you see so much of connection to nature, Mother Earth is there in all these pastimes. And Srila Prabhupada also focused in a beautiful farm community in New Vrindavan. We are planning to visit later this month. It's a very beautiful farm community in New Vrindavan, West Virginia, where initially our movement, lot of, there is a nice temple there, and cow farm is there. And in the same spirit we see here at New Govardhan, His Holiness Badrinarayan Swami Maharaj and so many of you have cultivated such a nice garden. All these, Mani Bandhani Prabhu, Mukund Charan Prabhu, so nicely. So many nice rose apple tree and guava tree and fig tree, which everybody, all the kids liked plucking the figs and eating it. So it shows the love and devotion that has been put into this Mother Nature for the pleasure of all the devotees, and the flowers that Shri Radha Giridhari uses for the decoration. Maharaj was telling that one of the names of Krishna is Vanamali. Vanamali is one who takes care of the one forest because he likes to be decorated. So also there is a pastime of Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan where Krishna decorates Shri Radha. It's called Shringarvat, where Krishna plucks all the flowers and different kind of leaves, and he decorates Shri Radha with all those things. So yeah, that was about Mother Durga Devi. So, and she is carried by her line, career, or the modes of passion and ignorance. Everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature, but at the end everyone is vanquished by nature's laws. As sure as death, death is sure. So everybody is vanquished by these modes of nature, however hard they fight. And later in this purpose, Srila Prabhupada explains about this Vaitarani river, which separates the material and the spiritual worlds. And in order to cross over this material world, one must cross this river. And we are so much entangled by these material illusions and entanglements that it's very difficult to cross over that. One of the verses I am remembering is from Vrinda Ashtakam. There is 8 verses for Srimati Tulsi Devi, Vrinda Devi. It says, Bhaktya vihina aparadha lakshay shiptascha kamaditaranga madhe kripa mai tvam sharanam prapadde vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaktya vina, I do not have any devotion. Bhaktya vina aparadha lakshe. I do thousands of aparadha offenses every day. Bhaktya vina aparadha lakshe. Chiptascha kamadi taranga madhye. I am thrown into the ocean of lust, anger, illusion. Kamadi taranga madhye. Kripamai, please have mercy on me. Kripamai tam sharanam prapadde. I take shelter of you. Vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Every morning when we chant our japa in front of Tulsi Maharani, we say, Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshava Sacha. You are so dear to Krishna. Please give me little devotion. I am so much entangled in these modes of material nature. Please bless me so I can taste the holy name of Krishna. Because Krishna is all beautiful. You know, he pleases us through his sound vibrations. And one of the sound vibrations we notice is in the pastime where Krishna is with all the gopis, and then Krishna leaves them because they get some pride in them. And then there is a beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that says, Anya aradhato nunam Bhagwan Hari Ishvara Tanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anyadraha. There is one particular gopi, Anya Aradhito Nunam, where Srimati Radharani is indirectly addressed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ishvara Bhagwan Hari, Tanno Vihaya, whom Krishna leaves and goes. All other gopis Krishna leaves. Anyadraha, and this Raha means the secluded place. And so why Krishna left all these gopis? Because they got pride that Krishna is with me. And so therefore, if pride comes in our heart, even in our devotional life, then it is we have to be very cognizant about getting pride in our devotional service, that I am better than that devotee, or my sadhana is better. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the 8th text of the first chapter of first canto that one must take shelter of the spiritual master and follow the instructions seriously and sincerely. Only then we can progress in our spiritual life. So make sure that we are a humble servant. Don't get pride in our heart, and follow the instructions nicely. And Krishna invites all of us, through various ways, and one of the ways is through the sound vibration of his flute. Something like this.
Every time you ready? I didn't practice, so don't criticize, okay?
Srila Prabhupada says in... Who? She? Oh, yeah, she's welcome back. She's coming from San Francisco to hear the flute. That's the main attraction of this class. Thank you for coming, Mataji. We say God is everywhere. Prabhupada mentioned in the lecture that God is everywhere. Why do you go to the temple? Because in this verse it is talked about people who are not at all interested in spiritual realization, and they say, why do you go to the temple? So Prabhupada says that you can answer that if God is everywhere, then he is also in the temple. And so there is a propaganda that is going on that don't go to the temple. There are so many rascals. Prabhupada uses this word in his lecture. There are so many rascals who they are coming and they are going, but and they are saying that there is no God in temple. But the temples are still not closed. There are so many temples. In Vrindavan alone there are 5,000 temples. Although this propaganda is there, still you see in Jagannath Puri there are thousands of temples. Ranganath temple that is there. And I was hearing one devotee, Gaura Prabhu, he was telling that after COVID and the new Ram Mandir that is constructed in Ayodhya and even all the ISKCON temples, now there is more footfall in all the temples within India. A lot of people have started since the pandemic.
Yeah.
So people are...
Same thing, because people say, oh, this is serious, and they die. Maybe
Yeah, you can use the mic, you can share the reason. So Prabhuji is giving the reason why there are more people coming to the temple after pandemic.
Yeah, well, after and during the pandemic. Because the thing is, one of our main preaching points, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma Mrityu Jana Vyali Dukkha Doshana Darshanam. But as you mentioned, the most amazing thing, people forget that. So the pandemic was a good reminder that death is very close. And so he says, yeah, I heard about this Hare Krishna, let me check it out. So we had an influx of devotees. People came, actually many stayed, and Govardhan and Vijayamani joined at that time. And Vijay wouldn't have been here except for the pandemic.
Oh,
The whole story, yeah. He was in India. You remember they stopped all the planes from flying?
Yes.
He just got out. It was like the last plane out, And he went to Chicago, and they said, you can stay here for a few days, but you may be sick, So he wasn't so welcome there, and he couldn't go back to LA for some reason. So he calls me up and he says, "Is there a place that I can for me to stay there?" And so, oh boy, Vijay would come in here, So I asked. I figured because Mukunda Charan had just come down. He'd been up in the farm for a long time, and he had just come and moved down here. So I figured there must be a place up there where he was staying, So I asked him. He said, "Yeah, I have a little mobile home thing out in the field, but there's no electricity and there's no water." So I called up Vijay and I said, "Yeah, we got a place for you, but there's no electricity and no water." So I said, "No, that won't do." So he was able to stay with Maheshwar's place, up in Ojai. You heard of? I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been up there forever. Whenever you see we go to Ratha Yatra in LA, and there's all of these umbrellas with the Jagannath on it and everything. He was the one who started all that.
I see.
And he's done a lot of service. So he stayed up there because Maheshwar was stuck in India. So he could stay at his house. But it was a small place, and when he got out, and when he finally could fly out, he came home, there wasn't enough room, he calls me up again. So I asked Maharaj, can Vijay come down? He said, yeah, but he has to be in quarantine for a while. So he stayed in the Krishna Lounge. That was our quarantine place. So then he moved here, and he was here for, 2 or 3 years. And only because of him did Vijayamani join, because he met him out in the park. Yeah, he met him out in Bombay. And Govardhan, he was coming already, but he got more serious.
Nice.
We had a few others too that didn't stay.
Thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. COVID ki jai.
Maybe we can have another wave. Maybe we can
So just a little bit more, Srila Prabhupada in the same lecture of this verse mentions that on a dollar bill there is a statement called "In God we trust." So yesterday we observed it very closely. We took out some money from the ATM and we saw on top of the White House it's written, "In God we..." The coins to have. "In God we trust." And in this lecture, Srila Prabhupada says that if you ask any of the scientists, philosopher and president, what is this God? You trust in God, and what is that God? Can you explain? So then they said, no, we cannot explain. And such big country, so many scientists, politicians, philosophers, challenge the government that you write on the bills, currency notes, we trust in God. So what is that God? Ask anyone. Will they be able to answer? No, this is simply a formality. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. And then in the end, he mentions that there is no difference between Bhagavan and Bhagavan Bhakta. So Prahalada Maharaja is like a Bhakta, but he's also the Mahajan among the 12 Mahajans. He's Swambhu, Narada, Shambhu, and Kapila Vasito. So many Mahajans are there. Prahalada Maharaja is the Mahajan. So wherever there is conflict or contradiction, we refer to what the Mahajan says. He's the authority. So Prabhupada mentions that the importance of Bhakta, because Prahalada Maharaj is so much concerned about everybody. That is why we say every day, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayavicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Because he is patitanam pavanebhyo. He is always looking to uplift the people who are fallen. He always wants to help others. So therefore there is no difference between Lord and the devotee of the Lord. But that does not mean, like the Mayavadi philosophers, that the bhakta or devotee is also God. No. That is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In every morning we sing the prayers, Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastre. So, Vaishnava is equally good like God, but he has so power, sometimes he can be more powerful than God, the devotee, because God fulfills the statements, whatever a devotee commits or says. So there are so many instances, within the scriptures also. In the same episode, Brahma committed a mistake by giving all those benediction to Hiranyakashipu, and then when Narasimhadeva appeared, he says, since you said that, I have to fulfill those desires. And also Narasimhadeva came because Prahalada Maharaja said, okay, there is God within that pillar. So sometimes a devotee can be more powerful. Therefore, if we sincerely serve the spiritual master, the devotees, then we can very nicely progress in our spiritual life. Krishna says in the scriptures, Mad Bhaktya Pujabhyadika, that those who worship me are not my devotees. Those who worship my devotees are my actual devotees. So that is there. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions online or offline? Yes, Dujamani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prakeshwar Prabhu. Thank you for speaking nicely. Question is about the perpetual. Prabhupada says that Durga Devi is carried by the lion and also by the mode of passion and ignorance, but I'm wondering why is that goodness is not mentioned there, since the mode of goodness is could be also bewildering.
Because goodness is what?
Could also be bewildering.
Yeah, okay. So everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature, but at the end everyone is vanquished by nature's law. She is carried by her line career or the modes of passion and ignorance. So line career is basically, line is used by her to kill, different demons. Obviously it's a vehicle for her to travel, to kill, and her duty is more of a superintendent, right? So when she's doing her duty, it is required to be in the modes of passion and ignorance. To kill somebody, you need like more passion, right? Like Lord Shiva is sometimes referred in the mode of ignorance because he annihilates the universe. Like you have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So when you create something, and when you maintain something, and when you annihilate something, these three different things have to be done. So for every activity there is different mode that is required, right? So for creation you need passion, for maintenance you need goodness, for annihilation you need ignorance. So similarly Durga Devi, she is carried by her line career or the modes of passion and ignorance, and she is basically punishing the demons. So in order to punish, she has to be in the mode of passion and ignorance, right? But obviously we should understand that obviously she also has the mode of goodness because she's a expansion of Sri Radha. She's the serving Krishna. She is assigned some duty by Krishna. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So under Krishna's supervision she is acting. So she has to do that. Sometimes at work, when we work at office, we have to be passionate to meet the deadlines, and we have to work hard sometimes. And even in our book distribution, right? If you have to meet goals, you have to be passionate. I need to do this thing, accomplish, distribute some sets of Bhagavatam. So all these modes kind of mix together with each other sometimes. Goodness, passion. Yes, Dravida Prabhu, if you want to add.
Yeah. Thing sometimes for these classes, there's a couple of editorial things you should know. This verse, which famous verse, Prakate Kriyamana Niguna Kamanishabha, Prabhupada quotes it in the purport, right?
Yeah.
And this translation, what I'm reading, what is in the book, I'm sure, is the translation from the old Macmillan Gita published in 1972. And when you look at the verse, you can easily see ahankara Vimudhatma. It's not that the world is spiritual under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer. It's a spirit soul bewildered by false ego. Thinks himself to be the doer of activities. You see? That's been changed, but we have to go through all the books where it's quoted and change that. But if you look it up in your Bhagavad Gita, you'll find that. And the other one is 7:14, the famous verse, Daiviyesha Gunamahi Mamaya Racha. Prabhupada quotes the first line. And this divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of meditation, is difficult to overcome. But when you think about it, when you say something is difficult to do, just like when you say Mukunda is learning the drum, and you say, well, this is a difficult beat to learn, you know. But that means that, but if you try hard, you can do it. Otherwise, you would say it was impossible, right? So I'm campaigning to get in the word very in there, because if you look at the synonyms in the actual Bhagavad Gita, and you look at the purport, the Prabhupada talks about very difficult, but somehow in the translation it comes out just difficult. But that's not hard enough. If you try, you can get into Harvard. It's difficult, but you can do it. But if you say it's very difficult, well, and really it's impossible. Not that it's possible to get into Harvard, but it's impossible to overcome the modes of nature. So that should be a very in there. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material, is very difficult to overcome.
Okay.
Extremely difficult.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, Mataji. Can you give mic to Mataji? Sorry if I was able to answer a question, but I don't know.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe
Wonderful class.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel so good to be around all the devotees and Radha Giridhari and deities and most wonderful.
Last week.
Oh yeah?
Touch-up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, inside? Oh.
We couldn't see the deities for 3 days, you know, everyone was doing separation.
It's most wonderful deities I ever, I mean, you know, I'm too attached, I guess, so it's very nice. Thank you.
The more you're attached to it, the more fortunate you are.
Thank you, very nice. Thank you for I missed everybody. Nice class, Prabhu. So I always had this question about when we pray to Radha Krishna, that we are indirectly praying Lakshmi Narayan because we are in a mode of, we are conditioned soul. I heard Srila Prabhupada's class. I was driving from San Francisco to here, and I have a CD, one of the devotee, Vaishnavi, she gave me, Nitya Gaur Prabhu's wife, she gave me so many CDs. So it just happened that I was thinking about it, and then Srila Prabhupada talked about this, that yes, we are conditioned soul, that's why we don't, we are actually worshipping Radha, Lakshmi Narayan. And sometimes I think that, so that means we should just always be in that mode, and because we do Vishnu Sahasranam and all, but because we are conditioned, and also when Maharaj said that when you don't hear 10th canto, you don't read unless if the lusty thought comes, then don't read it. So I was just always thinking that we should not read, and we should the 10th canto, and also when we pray to Radha Giridhari, but we should be thinking about Lakshmi Narayan. How does that? Because then it get confusing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the same question was asked actually. It was explained by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Venkata Bhatt and his brother Prabodhananda and Trimala, and Gopal Bhatt was also there. So he asked, what is the difference he said, you are a devotee of Narayan. Tell me why Lakshmi left Narayan and she wanted to be part of Ras Leela in Vrindavan. And so basically the question is, what's the difference between Lakshmi Narayan and Radha Krishna? So Venkata Bhatt told, so basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkat Bhatt are discussing, and then Venkata Bhatt says that both are the same, right? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, they are the same, but then again he asked that why she was not allowed to enter the Ras Leela, like Lakshmi ji, why she was not allowed. And then Mahaprabhu explained that in Belavan or Shrivan, Lakshmi Devi, she performed a lot of meditation for a long time, but the gopis said that you have to become a gopi, and in order to become a gopi, you have to milk the cows, you have to carry the cow dung on your head, you have to clean. After so, but Lakshmi Devi is in the mode of opulence, goddess of fortune. How could she, do all these things? And she was not able to give up her identity as Lakshmi, and she could not enter the Ras Leela. She was allowed to see the Ras Leela from far away. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms, yes, both are the same, in relation to this conversation with Venkata Bhatta. Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna are the same. And then, so that's the first part of your question, right? And second part is, you're asking that, should we go to the 10th canto and read the Ras Leela dance? So, even if you do that, you cannot do it, because as soon as you enter the 10th canto, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, if you have not gone through the previous cantos, you are not allowed to read the 10th canto. So automatically you will go back. So we'll finish all the previous cantos. Have you experienced that? I have experienced that. So Prabhupada is clearly telling, like within the 10th canto or in between other cantos, he's writing many places that everybody wants to jump to the Ras Leela pastime. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraj Thakur, when he was speaking on Bhagavatam, everybody was waiting, when will Krishna dance with the gopis, when will Ras Leela come? But Srila Prabhupada, he continued for 1 month, giving talk on the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But we among devotees here, since we have read, most of us have read Srimad Bhagavatam, it is okay to discuss the 10th canto, but we should not discuss in public or Sunday feast lecture or some home program where people are new. They may understand it incorrectly, but depends on what audience we are speaking, right? So yes, we are speaking about Radha Krishna Ras Leela or about the flute and so many things. So this association, I think it is appropriate because most of us have already read 10th canto of Bhagavatam. So, but who has not read, definitely they should read it from the first canto till the 10th canto. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. We should always remember that Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book. Even in the middle of his writing the Bhagavatam, he stopped the Bhagavatam in 1970 and spent a few months in LA dictating the Krishna book, which has the Dasa dance in it. But if you read it, you'll see that there's a long introductory chapter, and it's very it just emphasizes this is not ordinary boy and girl thing like that. And he's quoting from Vishwanath Chakravarti. I mean, when I worked on the 10th canon, I noticed that this is the same information we have in the Krishna book. So that book is that book is mass distributed. What to speak of us reading it? Someone who's never even heard of Krishna can read that. I mean, they'll probably read what comes before, but then what they're reading what comes before is still Krishna Leela and Vrindavan. They're not reading the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cantos. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
So there's also that understanding, and. But the whole reason, because Prabhupada's coming from India, and there's these what do they call the Bhagavat Saptahas, which say really speak about the Rasa Leela, because that's what people want to hear about. It's a money-making thing. It's a corruption, And Prabhupada mentions that in the first canto. That this is not, Bhagavat, the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be understood. If you read the 9 cantos and you're fully convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's not an ordinary man and boy, And so that's there. But he gave that opportunity, and in his Krishna book, there's so much description of Krishna. Yes, he's the supreme person. He's not the ordinary person. Like that. So we shouldn't be afraid to read the chapters 29 to 33 in the Krishna book. Now we have the actual Bhagavatam with the commentaries, and we even have I think it was David Swami who had the Vishwanath Chakrabarti's actual commentary translated, and Jiva and Sanatan for the 10th canon. For the whole 10th canon, we have 3. There's an e-book that has all that. So there's plenty of opportunity to understand the actual thing, what Vasalila is all about, and we can take advantage of it.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna, Madhuri.
And CC.
And Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, CC also, discussion between Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the different levels of bhakti.
And chapter 4 of the Adi Lila.
Chapter 4 of the Adi Lila.
Lord Chaitanya came, we moved the Radharani, Krishna comes in and moves the Radharani, and appreciate his own
Qualities through the lens of her love. That's the first thing. He wants to, the nature of her love, how she's appreciating me, and how she's appreciating loving me and being loved by me. Those 3 internal reasons. And that Adi Lila chapter 4 deals with that and describes what is the difference between lust and love, prema and kama. Atman the desire to satisfy one's own senses is kama, and the desire to satisfy Krishna's senses is prema. So, and the nature of Srimati Radharani, it's there in the 4th chapter. And, we're all meant to read it.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.